Oh, geez.
Um, Good evening, you guys. So we're gonna actually let Kristen kick it off tonight. She has graciously decided to take over tonight's Zoom, and she said, "I don't have a title for this. I just have like a bunch of fire to kind of spit at you. So we're just gonna let her go for it." Kristen, thank you so much. I'll just shut up from here.
Hold on. I gotta gather my thoughts. So I apologize now if y'all hear my kids. They are a hot mess. Um, my husband got home and it was like that switch flipped in their head and they're losing it. So I apologize if you hear them screaming. That's why I'm hiding in my closet. So, all right. So when Amber first posted this, guys, I won't even lie. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. What am I going to talk about? I feel like that's the topic of everybody is what do we talk about on here? And I mean, truly, I love it when people just randomly pour into us. Whether it's, we're getting stuff from a side sister or it's Amber or Harriet or Karen or Jennifer, just pouring into what they're absorbing on their side of things and what they're going through because we're all going through different journeys. And lately, I've been on my own journey, of course. Me and Jennifer talked the other day about finding our purpose and our niche, whatever you want to call it. And it kind of started with us. We both started the E60 challenge together, which has been, it's been a journey, like creating habits and sticking to those habits, our struggle, but telling yourself daily, like, this is why you're doing that, just keep going because the end result or whatever it is you're wanting is going to be worth it. And I don't know if any of y'all, well, I'm sure all of y'all know if you follow me on Facebook. I talk a little bit here and there about my daughter's arm injury and everything. And we kind of got steered down the wrong path. And we just found this out the other day, like 2 weeks ago. We finally saw what is he's a plastic surgeon who specializes in this injury that my daughter has. It's called brachial plexus injury. It was something that happened at birth. And so finding out that we were led down the wrong path, or I don't want to say wrong because I mean we've been improving, but we weren't steered in the right direction. And so Jennifer and I were actually talking about like how I want to talk about this more on my, social media, and just really being an advocate for her, talking about it because like a lot of people don't know about it, and it's a common thing that actually happens a lot. I mean, it happens like I think it was like 2 or 3 kids in 1,000 born. So it's a pretty common thing. And like, I have not found any big, like advocates for it other than adults who got it as either a kid, many, many years ago when they didn't have all the things that we have now, or, it happened to an adult in an accident or an injury. Cause it can also happen to, you other than just birth. And so I've been wanting to go down that path, and let me tell you guys that has been a struggle because I want to make sure I'm giving the correct information. I want to make sure that I'm leading people in the right direction of just saying, hey, this is, something that can happen. And I want to be a safe space for someone to ask me questions, but I also need to know what I'm talking about and how I got on this conversation. I don't know. Anywho, so lately I've been like really, really wanting to dream big. And the other day, I was listening to another leader in Lavelle. I kind of just stumbled across her Facebook page or not Facebook, Instagram. And I wasn't even like trying to compare myself. I just kind of like hearing other people's stories and how they're going about their business and how they're sharing it just to kind of get ideas. And her and her husband, guys, this is gonna shock you. And I want you to really take what I'm about to say in, because when we say dream big, I'm like, yeah, I want a big house in the mountains. That's me dreaming big, or me being on stage. Not that I'm saying my dreams aren't big, but when I heard that this couple went to a mastermind and what it cost, and really soaking it in, Amber, you may know, with you being in the social selling academy and having a coach and having a mentor and all that, like really investing in yourself, it flipped this switch in my brain to really want to dive more into, Taitlin's injury, to make sure that I'm giving the right information to people, like leading them down the right journey, versus, I don't want anyone to go down the journey we went through of basically be thrown to a doctor who really didn't know much. They know the basics, but that was it. And so we missed out on a lot of tests that we could have had done. She may have needed surgery, and we just didn't know, because the doctor never did any of the tests that were supposed to be done for this injury. So, when I was listening to these people like talk about how, it's so important to invest in yourself, they went to this mastermind. $25,000 is what it cost. I literally was blown away. Like, I mean, I know what it costs to join the social selling, and I've looked at other people and like what their courses cost and stuff, but I was blown. I was like, I never thought that it cost that much money. I mean, I know there's some that are like way out there, but I was just like, to hear someone who's in our company say, "Hey, I went to this and it was truly amazing, and it was only a 2-day event." I'm like, that's where I want my goals to go, is somewhere big where I can say, "You know what? I just invested $25,000 into myself to grow my team, to grow my business." And so I've really been digging deep of like, what big dreams do I have, not just a house. Like, yeah, I could buy a house anywhere. Yeah, I want it in the mountains, and I want it big enough on a huge piece of land so that I can have retreats on my property, because I think it's truly amazing, and all the aspects that come with it, being able to pour into other people, but also bring other people in who, are like-minded and want to pour into my team, or y'all, or whatever. Because I think it's truly amazing hearing some of these people. Like, lately I've been listening to Jessie Lee, and the stuff she says, I'm like, and some of the things that they said, I'm gonna give to y'all, because I took as my own nuggets from them. But they were saying that one of the I know I need to learn not to say one of the why am my brain farting now? Nuggets, I guess. One of the quotes this guy said was, okay, listen, you got your listening skills on, ladies. Okay. The way you view your accomplishments will determine how much you accomplish. So when the way they were putting for examples of this, people who were, nowadays everyone's like, I want to make 6 figures. In all honesty, depending on what 6 figures you're making, it's not that much. At the rate our world's going, and the prices that are, saying I want to make 100,000, heck no. I want to make $1 million. Like, I'm finally saying, like, I want to make $1 million, because all the things I can accomplish with pouring into myself, or helping other people, or giving back, or, all the things that you can accomplish with making millions. And so their example was, most people nowadays are like, I want to make 10 grand a month, which is amazing. But they get so excited about it, that's where they cap themselves. I made 10 grand a month, and then they just stop. And we're in an industry where you literally have no cap. Why stop at 10 grand? Like, why? Like, yeah, of course, definitely celebrate you made 10 grand a month, because that's truly amazing. But it's like, don't just settle in and stop at 10 grand. Like, when you're in an industry that you could literally make six figures a month, like, why not? Why cap yourself when you're in an uncapped, industry? Like, it has options, yes. And I was just like blown away because I never thought about that. Like, of course, we all want to celebrate our wins and our successes, but it's like, don't don't just focus on that one accomplishment and in your success. Keep going. Or people who, even reach six figures and it's like, I'm done. I'm just gonna sit back. I don't need to keep going. But you do, because eventually it's gonna run out. Eventually you're gonna need more. You're like they always say, never stop growing your team. Don't rely on your team to grow your business. And um to think bigger, to dream bigger, like, not saying that, you necessarily need, you know, to live the lavish lifestyle. You can make tons of money and just live a simple life, but give back. Or, my biggest thing is I want to help my parents. I know my mom has no retirement. She works under the table as I don't even want to say an RN, but she's like a not even in the nursing industry, but she cares for the elderly who don't have home health or any of that. So everything is paid under the table. And I my biggest thing is I want to be able to put money aside for when she passes. I know I don't have to worry about that, because with my sister, when my sister passed 6 years ago, it was so unexpected. We had no money set aside. She didn't have what is it called? Life insurance, none of that. My grandmother thankfully had some on, us, me and my sister, as we are the first grandkids. Um, but my mom doesn't have that. If she were to go get that right now, she would pay an arm and a leg for something that usually ends at like 70. And I mean, to be honest, my mom's lived a crazy life. It's not like she's in the best health. So I want to make sure that I can, provide that, and that not have to be, a burden on my family like it was when my sister passed. Like, that is like one of the biggest things to me. Like, I got life insurance right after my sister passed. That way my family doesn't have to ever deal with that in an unexpected accident or whatever. And I want to be able to care for my mom, because God knows my brother's not gonna do it. That's just me. Once y'all really get to know me, I'm that person. I can be driving down the side of the road and I see a homeless person or just a person walking down the road. And my first thought is, Kristen, go pull over and give them a ride. Even if I'm going somewhere and I'm on time, that's just my heart. Like, I'm that person who wants to help anyone and everybody, whether I like that person, whether I know that person or not. That's just me. And, having big dreams and being able to give back, be able to give to, there's a community for the brachial plexus injury that Talon has. They have like a summer camp and they donate, they help kids with certain things, and I want to be able to donate to that and help, raise good money for them, so they, it's not just like a little I don't want to say petty, but it's only like, I think like 2 or 3 thousand, which nowadays that's nothing. That is nothing. And so, we've been, fortunate to for me to stay home and for a lot of medical issues to be covered with Talon. But, there's a lot of people who don't have that. And I want to be able to give back to them, to be like, hey, if, traveling somewhere to get the best care, I want to be able to donate to those people or help out, because I see it in so many communities. And it's just like, dreaming bigger and thinking bigger and getting around those, like-minded people who just want more, not necessarily to have the finer things, the fancy cars. Like, I mean, to be honest, I mean, my dream car is stupid, okay? It's I mean, other than the G-Wagon, my dream car is the Jeep Wagoneer, like, let's just be real, okay? Which, yeah, that is an expensive car, and it's but it's I mean, I'm not a sports car, I'm not a fancy car. I just want a nice SUV that's gonna fit me and my kids and some extra people in and some luggage to travel. But thinking bigger, outside of the box, is been a big thing on me, and investing in myself. Hell, I would love to be like, guys, I just spent $25,000 to go to an awesome mastermind that kickstarted my ass again, because sometimes we need it. And sorry for the cussing. And then one of the other sayings they said to me, and it's kind of been, I never think of networking as anything like, yeah, we do network marketing, but I never really like sat down and thought of like networking and how your network is your net worth. So the more you grow your network, that's going to be the more worth you are. And it sounds silly to say that, at least to me it does, because it just, you don't think about things like that. But I want to be like, I want people to know me all over, be like, that's the girl that sells those vitamins, who's always giving back, who's doing more all over the world, not just here in the United States. And so getting around those like-minded people, you never know who you can meet and who you're gonna, who's gonna say word of mouth, like, oh, you should meet this girl. She's incredible. You should hear her speak. That's what I want people to think of me when I'm out there in the world. Like a Jessie Lee, just probably a little calmer. Okay. Um, I won't even lie. I used to think this chick was crazy. I was like, first off, she talks so fast I can't even understand her. And then I started to really listen to her, and I was like, whoa, the words that are coming out of her mouth are 100% true. And they're just, she's always giving back and not charging, which is amazing to be able to, pour out into the world and know your worth without having to say, I need money for that kind of thing, without having to charge for giving your 2 cents and it meaning something. But another thing they said was rich people look for and develop networks. Everyone else just looks for work. So when you're growing that network and it's, spreading all over, and you keep that good reputation, because that's another thing that's going to play in that role is, people need to trust you, and they need to know you're, an honest person, and, you're not acting crazy and doing all these things, because we all know people talk, and they're always going to talk. I mean, heck, you get on social media and people say things to you that you're just like, who are you? Do you even like follow my page? Do you even know anything about me? They literally just start speaking. So that blows my mind. Um, and then, what is his name? Eric something. Is it Eric Warren? I think his name is. Y'all know who I'm
Eric
talking about?
Corey.
There you go.
That's
So
Jessie
he
Lee's
said,
mentor.
huh?
That's Jessie Lee's mentor.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's who held this mastermind. Um, and he said, if you I believe it was, if you aren't worth 10 million in 10 years, you've failed. Can you imagine being worth 10 million? That is dreaming so big that, you know, little old me in tiny little Lago Vista, Texas would never think of being worth 10 million, heck alone a million. And so it's really dreaming bigger and putting yourself out there, whether it's just the vitamins you're talking about, or you have a niche, whatever you want to call that word, you know, and that's kind of where I've been going, is like, one, being positive every day. We all go through negative things. We all have bad days. And it's like, lately I've kind of been struggling with my kids and our crazy issues. We got a, three-nager and a terrible two. Ooh, grays are coming out. Hey, I'm thankful for, okay? I'm not pulling them out, Amber. I'm like, guys, look how exciting. Y'all see that gray? I'm excited. Okay. This is 33. Um, but I've just been trying to be positive about all the stuff we're going through. Like, hey, I may not be getting up at 5 a.m., but my workout's getting in somewhere. I'm really I'm really trying to focus on my business. And I mean, I'm about to come up on a year, guys, and I will say the girl's been stuck in the trenches. She's been stuck in a bunch of crazy mindsets that I didn't even know I had. But it was because they were things that never were brought up in my last company. You never were taught about self development. So read these books, and I'm like, who are you, Kristen? Like, who are you, and where do you want to be, and where do you want to go, and what are you doing with your life? Um, because I mean, to be honest, I never even knew of network marketing until 2019. Like, I heard people talk about it, but I was just like, whatever, I have no idea what they're talking about. Moving on with my life. And now here I am in 2022, and I'm just like, ooh, I am growing as a person, and I see so much potential in myself and y'all. And I just, I literally am ready to run, like, run for these bonuses, run for the bigger dreams, run to be on stage, even if I sound crazy, even if I'm stumbling over my words. I'm going to be on that stage one day, and I'm going to be worth at least $1 million one day. So that's all I got for y'all tonight. That's where I've been at. Thanks for my
I love
notes.
it. I love it. Thank you so much. And I have like completely seen like a different fire come out of you these last couple months, and I just love it. And I'm just gonna say I'm here for it. But I feel like, it's one of those things that we talk about mindset all the time. We talk about belief and where you're going. We talk about like finding your people and sharing the kind of messages that you want to share, right? One thing that Jessie Lee said a long time ago, she said, if you want to find your niche, whatever you want to call it, she's like, figure out what breaks your heart and serve that community. And so when I heard her say that, I was like, damn, like I'm going to start talking about career burnout, because even though I was so scared about my coworkers and what they were going to think, and I didn't want people to think I was like dissing healthcare, but in the same breath, like I would literally hear every single person in that break room saying how much they hated their degree, how much they hated their job, how much they I literally heard somebody the other week it was the saddest conversation. She was talking about retirement. A lady that had just retired came back into the break room for lunch with these ladies who were getting ready to retire. And they were literally talking about how much money they were not making by being retired, and that the fact that they didn't want to live till X amount of years because they wouldn't have the income coming in. Like they didn't want to live that long. And I was like, what a sad life. What a sad life, right? And I'm listening to a book right now. Dang, what is it called? It's called The 4 Hour Work Week. Somebody recommended it to me right underneath like Beach Money. Beach Money is really good. For those of you who have not read that, I'm going to add another one to your list, but it's specifically about network marketing and why network marketing is smart, right? And it's something that I didn't realize until I jumped into it. I started with the self-development and I was like, ooh, I really like who I'm becoming. I really like that I'm more confident. I really like that I'm growing my mindset. I might not be growing my team yet years ago, right? But like I'm growing my mindset, and it's changing the way I speak up about myself. It's changing the way that I show up in conversations. It's changed some of my relationships, even in my family, and letting go of toxic people and that sort of thing. But it's that beautiful part of the industry that you don't even really understand. And then you get to the other side, and you start to see that it is the industry of options, and that you can create something that no other degree could ever give you. No other career path could ever give you the amount of freedom that you can create in this industry, right? And once you get that and you see that and you understand that and you look around at everybody else in your life, and the people in the grocery store who are, couponing, or the people at work who are complaining about their job, or the people who are just living mediocre, right? One thing that he says in the book that I'm listening to, The 4 Hour Work Week, he says, if you would take your typical retirement plan, most people are living like for like a deferred life, right? They're working all their young years, they're working hard, and they're deferring their happiness. They're deferring, like, well, once I retire, I'll have more time. Once I retire, maybe I'll have a little bit of money and I can travel with my husband. Once I retire, well, that's saying like that you're anticipating that you're going to have your health. And you're never guaranteed that, right? And so he was saying in the book, he's like, don't bank on the deferred life. Like, start building the life that you want now with the industry that you've been gifted. And another thing that he says on there is, he says, take the average person's like retirement plan, right? And if you had a preview, okay, this is talking to the 9 to 5 person, but if you had a preview of, let's say you had Amber's 403b or 401k or whatever, and you got to preview it for 1 year, and you got to take off of work, and you're going to preview your retirement plan. You're going to get X amount of income that you are projected to get at that time, whatever time you're going to retire, right? Would it really be what you wanted? Would it really give you the life that you wanted? And if the answer to that is no, then now is the time to start kicking it up in the industry that you've been gifted, right? And I just thought that was so, like, that was like a little aha moment for me, coming from the career burnout, who's just like, wow, like we could do this so different, right? And you get to be that person on somebody else's social media to say, in whatever way that you have your little aha moment for this industry, and what options you can create for your babies, and what options and what ways you can give back to the community that breaks your heart, right? That is where you go, right? And it's such a beautiful thing. We're gonna end it early tonight, you guys. Kristen, thank you so much for pouring into us. Anytime you guys ever want to lead a Zoom, just let me know. Jennifer is gonna take our first Zoom in October. Still planning on being on track for October 1st for opening up the potential group. I'm really excited about that. I've actually I went ahead and started having some conversations with my potentials today, and said, hey, just kind of like keep your eye out. But on October 1st, I'm going to open up a group that is kind of for those who are interested, but they're just kind of like still hanging out, and they still want to see what we're all about, right? So I said in there, it was a voice memo that I sent out, and I just said, it's basically a group where you get to be a fly on the wall, and we talk all things like comp plan, auto bonus, how Lavelle's different, how the community, like what it's like to be a part of the community here, that sort of thing. And I said, just kind of keep your eyes out on October 1st. We're going to be opening that up. If it's something that you want to be a part of, just let me know. But like we talked about earlier, we want to make sure that these people have an account. So go ahead and start, like, keep that in the back of your mind with your potentials as we're going into October, and any potential from this point forward, really with samples, it's kind of where it starts. Any potential, like, I'm not going to continue to have the conversation with them unless I'm getting a sample in their hands, right? Like, there's no reason to keep like what ifing, like, just take a sample, right? And so once you start getting people on samples, something that I've started doing that I really, really should have started doing a lot sooner than now, is putting them in the computer for a free account, right? And so make sure that with your potentials and your sample customers, that you're putting them in the computer, so that they are attached to you, because you've taken control of that conversation, you've built that relationship with them. And if and when they decide to go all in on themselves and come in either as a customer or a business partner, like, we want them to be paired with you, right? That's a terrible feeling, you guys, to have had those conversations with people and then go see that they sign up with somebody else, when it really just could have been a conversation of, hey, like, what's your email and your phone number? I'm going to go ahead and set you up with a free account, right? And some people like to just kind of browse around. Honestly, I think in our heads sometimes we think, oh, they're going to go like browse around and they're going to see the price and they're going to run away, but they're not, right? Some people just want to see. Some people will go through the website and they'll be like, wait a minute, you have CBD skincare? Wait a minute, you got collagen? You don't talk about collagen, Amber, right? Like, all these things that you don't even know might speak to them a little bit more than the 3 steps. So don't be scared to get people in the computer and give them their free account. And yeah, we'll plan on that for October. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. What's you going to say, Risen?
So question, since I haven't dealt with like a promoter or a potential or really anything like that. I mean, I totally get to, you don't want them to run away, but like making them a customer page, does that like lock them into only you, or how does that work? I'm just curious because I
Yeah.
haven't had to deal with that.
So let's say take your sample customers for example. Let's say you're talking about the products and you got somebody who's like, I'm really curious, like I want to try it, but like you're used to just shipping it from your house and then just catching up with them and saying, hey, let me know when you get your sample. That's how I used to do samples. I've now started to say, even no matter if I'm sending it from my pantry or if I'm sending it from my back office, I will still go ahead now and I'll ask them, what's your email? What's your address and what's your phone number? And if their like username doesn't say their last name, I'll ask them what their last name is. And I'll say it's for the shipping label, right? And it really is for the shipping label, but you're also taking that information and you're going through your back office and you're clicking create new customer account and you go ahead and set it up. And usually what I do is I put their first name, last name, I'll put their phone number, their email, and then if you go one step further, you'll create their username, which I usually try to do their first and last name. And then for the password, I usually just do Thrive. I do capital T, Thrive, 1, 2, 3, exclamation mark. And that's across the board for everybody, forever and ever, amen. Because if they come back to me and they want to know what their password is, I'm not confused, right? But they can go change that later, right? And I'll say, hey, your sample's on its way. I just mailed it out. Here's your free customer account. Here's your username, your password, and here's where you go to log in. And it's just lavelle.com. It's www.lavelle.com. So that's how the conversation goes. But I treat like anybody who is curious about the business the same way. I treat them the same as a sample customer, honestly, you guys, because I full heartedly feel like you cannot promote a company or back a business model unless you are 100% behind the product, right? And so I really don't believe in signing a promoter who has never tried the product, right? And so those conversations really, like if you like zoom out, they really look the same, right? Except for with this person, like with the sample customer, I might be talking about more physical health and like, what are you looking for? And then with this person, I'm like, what do you want out of life? Like, what is it that you would like to change? Tell me that, right? And then they kind of pour into you a little bit, and you're just like, you do the feel, felt, found, right? I feel you. This is where I used to be too. I was scared too, but after joining, this is what I found, right? Those sorts of conversations. But they really look the same. So you're saying like, let me get you a sample in the mail. And it's up to you whether you're going to charge for your samples or you're going to give them out for free. It's totally up to you. I can't tell you what to do there. And you may have periods where you're like, I think I'm going to do them free this week or whatever, right? It's totally up to you. But with those people, I treat them the same as far as putting them in the computer. And I say, here's your free customer account, right? Because even if I create their free customer account and they were interested in being a promoter, they're going to get their sample either from my pantry or from my back office. I'm still going to check in with them when they get their sample. Technically, they have a customer account. But if we've already had that conversation with them about the business, then it's really a click of a button in their back office. I don't know if you guys remember that at all. Karen, I know you were a customer first technically, and then you flipped over. But if you have a customer account and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a little blue button that says become a promoter, right? And there's no difference in the two accounts except for one gets paid. And that's as simple as I leave it for anybody who ever has a question of what's the difference between a customer and promoter. One gets paid.
Yeah, my girl Chels, I go into her account all the time. I help her out. She's not very tech savvy, so I go into her account, or was. She has her auto ship on now, so it's good. But every time I would go into her account, it would have that become a promoter option.
Mhm.
So she is my customer. There's all that. But then if she ever wants to click that option to become a promoter, there's that. She can just scroll down and it says become a promoter, and she can click on that, and then she's not qualified. Her VIP does not start until that $100 goes in. So, like, whether she waits for her auto ship or she grabs one of the promoter packs, she's not going to be qualified, and her VIP counter is not going to start until she's put that $100 in. So she can grab $100 in products, or she can grab a promoter pack. It doesn't matter. She can spend more than $100 if she wants to, because with the promoter packs, you can actually break those up, and she can get her money back by getting those out as samples. So you can tell people that way too. Like, hey, you get your money back. You can break this off and like, sell them off as samples or whatever, and you get your money back if you're worried about that. But she can click the promoter option, but nothing is going to happen until like she puts down $100, which will qualify her then as a promoter. So that's when her VIP counter is going to start. And then that's when we start running, right? So she can click that button and I can prep her on how she can earn her VIPs before she gets that $100. Like maybe she has to wait a week until she gets paid or something, right? That's a good time period. So you can prep them and show them how they can earn their VIPs. Like, hey, call your mama up, right? Have her grab some shakes. Call your sister up. Have her grab some DFTs, whatever, right? And there's her 2 auto ship customers. Have her husband enroll as a promoter. Have her cousin enroll as a promoter, right? There you go. There's your VIPs right there. You can actually walk them through that, and most of them will grab it and some of them won't. But that's like the best time. Like, I gotta wait. I can become a promoter, but I gotta wait a week until I get my paycheck. Okay, let's walk you through how you can earn your VIP bonus while you're waiting for your paycheck. That's like a simple way to do it, because people get so scared off, like, well, no, I didn't know I needed to do all this for like becoming a promoter, and I'm not going to earn my VIP bonus, and only 2 weeks to get two customers and 2 promoters. Like, I don't know, and you scare yourself out of it. So that's a very simple way that you can prep somebody on how they can become. Like, you can hit the promoter button all day long, but you're not going to become a promoter until you're qualified. So until they become qualified, you can walk them through their VIPs and how they can earn it, and they can start preparing themselves and start talking to people and start posting. You know what I mean? So that's just little coming from government housing, coming from somebody who never could afford anything like this before, and you're talking to people who want to get out of government housing, and this is network marketing, and they get to build their own income, and they don't have to rely on the man and that kind of stuff, right? Make it simple for them and make it easy and make it organized and be like, hey, you can get your money back like this, and you can enroll your family so you're not thriving alone, or your bestie, so you're not thriving alone and you're not doing this alone, and you got somebody you can count on, right? Just makes it simpler and less complicated and more affordable in their eyes, because all they see is dollar signs sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I will also say, real quick side note, like if you have a customer who's, let's say, for example, their normal auto ship comes out on the 5th of every month, and then like randomly on October 15th, she's like, hey, I clicked promoter, that person's already qualified and active because they've already placed an order that month. So you will have that happen sometimes where you're like, oh shit, like your VIP started 6 days ago. Like, no, right? But it happens. But I hope I answered your question like in full, Kristen. Did I answer your question? Those conversations look the same, but I think it's really smart because I've had way too many times to count, where I've had conversations with somebody and then maybe I get ghosted in the sample, or I fail in following up or whatever. And then later on they're like, hey, I decided to join Thrive. And I'm like, we didn't have a conversation, and they joined somebody else. And it's just like, dang, like I could have worked smarter earlier on in business had I went ahead and just like, and it is a little uncomfortable, right? It's one of those things where you're just like, I'm gonna create you an account, like, but it's really not. We think it's uncomfortable in our heads, or maybe it's just me, but you're just doing them a favor by creating the free account for them, right? Any other questions before we hop off, y'all? We're good? All right. We'll end it here. I'm going to look back at the leadership chat and take a look and see what we are missing. What are we missing before end of month for that page? Missing Garen?
No, I was pointing Jennifer.
Oh,
I think she's
below me in line.
Oh.
All right.
VIP bonuses, I think, is the only one, because I did the car. You already made like a getaway one. And then she did credit.
It's me that I messed up on the comp plan, but whatever.
Well, I saw you. I didn't even realize you posted into like the actual team page and not the mission page.
Wait, I thought I did both.
You did.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
and I was like, I didn't know if she meant to put in this one, and then
I
you went back
did.
and put the other.
Yeah, because I wanted y'all to have it as a reference there too. I'll probably what I'll do just for now is just put like a comment underneath it and be like, what I meant to say is 20% of half the BB. But anyways, I hope that was helpful. It was
So
helpful
just
for
real
me
quick,
to know.
yeah, just real quick, think about how you would want somebody to explain it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like think how you would want somebody to explain it to you, and then that's how you explain it to the person you want to talk to, because you want to talk to somebody, you know, that is kind of like-minded, and they were in the same struggle. Like I would love to be able to help somebody out of government housing with this opportunity. Somebody who wants it, not somebody who wants to sit in it and stay on assistance and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Somebody who is in government housing because they didn't have a choice to be there, and then they really want to get out because there's drug needles in the parking lot and there's drunks in the hallway. Girl, Dr. Phil ain't got nothing, okay? But those are the people I want to help. I want to help people who didn't have a choice and they've got 3 babies and they're a single mama, or maybe they're married and they can't work, but their husband is the only income. Those are the people I want to talk to. The people who really want to get out of their circumstances and they're willing to put in the work for it. Not somebody who wants to get this, but keep getting that check in the mail. You know what I mean? I want somebody who really wants it. So you got to talk to somebody and explain it to them how you would want it explained to you.
Did I answer your question, Jennifer? She was asking, she said she had questions about the VIPs, because they've updated it with the 400, I'm assuming is what she's talking about.
Because it's more specific. So let's break it down backwards. So you've got VIP 1600, which is 4 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got 4 customers, 4 promoters, 1600 in volume. Lavelle's gonna pay you at 800 bonus. We're going backwards. Sorry, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
800, 400. 800.
Yeah, 16, 8, and 4.
Yeah, it's like the actual payout amount that I'm confused about, because when I go in the resources in the back office, there's no actual dollar amount. Like it shows how much credits you'll get for each bonus.
It's 200. So I have it written down because I went crazy last night because I was alone.
Okay.
So the 400, you'll get a $200 payout, and that's 1 customer, 1 promoter. And then the 800 is also a 200 payout. That's 2 customers, 2 promoters. 1600 is $400 payout, and that's 4 customers, 4 promoters.
Yes. So they're just letting you get half of that 400, because it used to just be the 800. The VIP 800 was the first step, and you got a 400 bonus, and right.
Okay.
It's just letting you get access to that half, like if you only made it halfway there, if that makes sense.
Okay. What was throwing me off? I don't know why. I don't know. I was looking at the fast start. It was the credits. It showed the credits that you would get, and then it said plus fast start bonus. And I'm like, well, there's no way that that's gonna add up to $400, like a $400 bonus. You know, like I was confused. Okay, I'm good. I got it.
You're fine. You're fine. So let's take, for example, you've got 1 customer, 1 promoter that comes in, and it's 400 in volume. That's your new little VIP 400. The company's going to give you 200. You're going to get 100 in free product credit, right? You are going to get a fast start bonus if that promoter comes in on a pack, right? Because that's like at all the time. Like anytime somebody purchases a pack, you get a little bonus from it. So if it's a 200 pack, then it's that $30. If it's a $400 pack, then it's the 80. And if it's an $800 pack, it's the 140. So those are your fast start bonuses that are honestly the confusing part. For me, it was the confusing part for a long, long time. I was like, what the hell is a fast start? And what's infinity fast start and double, triple fast start and all that stuff? I was just like, that's not for me. I'm just a brand promoter. I'm just still trying to find my 1 promoter, right? Like that was my mindset in the business, right? But if you look at the way the comp plan is laid out, I know we talk to people and we say you could earn this amount of bonus this amount of product credits, right? But what's not calculated in is the invariables, right? Because it depends on what that person, like that promoter that they sign, what pack they purchase, as far as what extra, because it could be an extra 30, 80, or 140 on top of that bonus that they've earned plus their free product credits. And then any customers or any other promoters, they're gonna be earning commissions. So that's different with each person too. So sometimes you'll see people put on their stories like it could be 1,300 plus in your first 14 weeks, and then you'll see other people say like 1,600 plus in your first 14 days. I think I just said 14 weeks, but you know what I mean? In the first 14 days, and you're just like, wait a minute, your number is different from your number. Why? And it's because they're calculating it differently based on like what packs they're bringing in. They're just like estimating. But that's the confusing part that I don't feel like we need to like go like down and dirty into that. That's just an added bonus, right? If people bring people in the right way, right?
More than I thought I was gonna get. Leave it like that.
Yeah, just leave it like that. Just give them the basics, which is what was Kristen was saying, like the $200 bonus plus $100 in free product credit. Because honestly, if they earn a fast start off of signing a pack and then they earn commissions, you're gonna be like, wait, where'd all this extra money come from? You're like, I know you also get commissions and you also get a fast start bonus on signing packs. And it's just like a little happiness in the rocket, right? But it gets confusing if you start to break that down for everybody. And then they're like, wait a minute, I thought, right? And they're going to get all bitter over numbers.
Yeah.
You do it backwards. Did that break down? Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
And don't feel like you have to go live. Like I broke mine down in post because sometimes it's just easier to see the numbers versus hear the numbers, kind of like Amber did with her screening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be live. You don't got to put all that pressure on yourself.
Okay.
You could do a graphic, you could do Canva, you could do, just type it out. It don't matter.
Okay. So I'm like, I'm going live. Like I have to make sure I have all the numbers right. Like I'll be live.
Look at me. I just broke down the entire comp plan and I goofed up the most basic part into the commissions that we make. Okay. The most basic information. I was listening to it again and I was like, wait a minute. Cause I sent it to one of my potentials who's like so green. Like it's not even funny. She's asked me like percentages and commissions and I'm like, oh, like you're making me nervous. But I was like, you'd be so proud of me. I made a video. And she was like, send it to me. I want to hear it. So anyways, I was like, I messed it up already. And she's like, see, you need a green on your team. I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah, just keep it simple, Jennifer. Break it down and put it in a post. Like it doesn't have to be alive. And then if you kind of like
I just literally copied it from the cloud office of what they said, and I took their graphic and I took out the VIP auto bonus and I just covered it up and I put auto bonus.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep it super simple. And remember, just like explain it to somebody how you would want somebody to explain it to you. You just want to know the basics. You just want to know what you're getting when you first come in, right?
Yeah. And see, I think the thing that like really always threw me off with the VIPs is it's VIP 400, VIP 800, and VIP 1600. And I'm like, where is all this coming from? Because I don't know. I don't know if I'm still not understanding it correctly, but VIP 400 is you get $100 in credits, $200 in cash. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the part that always threw me off. So the fast start bonus is what's gonna cover the rest of like the other $100.
There's no ice. You want some?
Right?
No.
Like where's the 400 from?
The 400 what? The VIP 400? That is the total volume that person just brought in.
The volume. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're old enough to drink alcohol.
I'm like, where is this number coming from? Okay, it's the volume. Got it. Okay.
This is gonna be a fun recording.
It's all good. It's all good, you guys.
Unlisted.
There's
Yeah.
certain parts of the comp plan that you're just like, I feel like you're just kind of like dazed and confused on for the longest time. And I mean, I don't want that to be duplicated, but I know it makes me nervous too, a little bit too, because I'm just like, I don't know, I'm trying to understand it myself. But so like there's no stupid question like at all. Yeah, because that VIP, that was confusing for me too. I never hit my VIP, so I never really understood how to say it.
I will say though, once you like study it a little and realize how many ways you get paid, it's like
Yeah. I
like
was
I know.
I looked at it and I just never understood it. But then last night I was looking at it and I was listening to some of the trainings and I was just like,
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the comp plan 1000% intimidates the crap out of me. I didn't graduate high school. I don't do numbers. When they started putting letters in math, I was done. So it's just like, so the comp plan completely 1000% intimidates the crap out of me. Like,
yeah.
I know how to tell somebody how they can make money, but I'm still over here trying to make it. So, like, I can help you make it. I'll help you climb all day long. You can outrank me. I'm fine with that. But I just get so intimidated by the comp plan because I go in the back office and I look at the spreadsheet and I'm like,
Yeah. You're like, what does that mean? Wait till you get a little further and wait till you
It's
get
like
like a couple 4Ks under your belt and you're gonna be like, oh, this is why my paycheck is different now. This is why my paycheck is different.
And the
like, that's
comp,
my goal though. That's my goal, to freaking enroll people and just have them outrank me. Like, I'll get mine. Mine will come in God's time. But like, I'm completely okay with people coming in and just, hey, right? Like,
hey.
What am I gonna do with her? I don't even know. But anyways, that's a wrap, you guys. Jennifer, if you have any other questions, feel free to
No,
talk to us or
I-
put it in the chat.
I was just gonna throw in there that the comp plan doesn't even include like selling samples, so that's another way that we get paid. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's
I was surprised. The video I was listening to, so the video that I used to listen to on, it was in Lionhearted. I can't find it anymore because the person that did the comp plan breakdown, she was very methodical, very numbers like person. You could tell she probably like worked in a bank or something, but she's not on the team anymore. So I don't know what happened to the video, but I couldn't find it. And I was like, shit. I was like, this is my luck. I'm supposed to do a comp plan video and this girl's video is gone. Like, what am I going to do? And so I went on YouTube University, right? And I looked up, there's a couple different Lavelle millionaires. One is Lisa Fuller, and she a couple years ago did a video that was basically the breakdown of what I did today. And I would love to know if this is still true. I would assume it probably is. But she said that Lavelle has the highest percentage of people at the top rank than any other company, right? Other companies have a lot of percentage, like their people are all the way at the bottom, right? And their smallest percentages are at the top. But Lavelle has the highest percentage of people at the top, right? Compared to others, like the highest percentage of 200Ks than any other company with that comparable rank, if that makes sense. And she also said that we have the most auto bonus earners, probably because we like level out the playing field and we're like, hey, 12K in volume, we're going to open up auto bonus for you, right? I just love it. Anyways, I love you guys. Any other questions? We're going to hop off. Okay.
I'm excited about book club.
I'm excited about book club too.
The thing.
Y'all keep an eye out for that, okay? All right. Good night.